Everyone thinks insulin is the enemy. Cut carbs, avoid sugar. Keep insulin low at all costs. Wrong. Bodybuilders and elite athletes have been using insulin strategically for decades to build muscle faster than anyone thought possible. Here's the truth. I analyzed the science behind insulin's anabolic effects and found there are 3 stages to using insulin like a pro athlete to transform your physique. Get these right and you'll build muscle and lose fat simultaneously. First, understand what bodybuilders discovered about insulin decades ago. Step 1. Insulin is the most powerful anabolic hormone in your body. While everyone's talking about testosterone and growth hormone, professional bodybuilders know something different. Insulin is more anabolic than you think. Studies show that insulin achieves muscle anabolism by stopping muscle protein breakdown by up to 17%. But here's what they don't tell you. Insulin only builds muscle when 2 conditions are met. First condition, you need amino acids present. Research from 2010 showed that when insulin levels increased by 157%, muscle protein synthesis (ONLY) went up when amino acid delivery to muscles increased by 63%. Without amino acids, insulin does nothing for muscle growth. Second condition, insulin must increase blood flow to muscles. The same study found that insulin's muscle-building effect depends entirely on whether it increases muscle blood flow and amino acid delivery. This is why bodybuilders time their protein and carb intake so precisely. Step 2. The anabolic window is real, but not how you think. After resistance training, your muscles become insulin sensitive for up to 16 hours. This isn't just about glycogen. Studies show that 80% of ATP during resistance training comes from glycolysis. A single set to failure depletes 12% of muscle glycogen. 3 sets, 24% depletion. Bodybuilders discovered that the first 30 to 60 minutes post-workout is critical. Why? Because glycogen synthesis happens in 2 phases. Phase 1, rapid synthesis, for 30 to 60 minutes. Independent of insulin. Your muscles are so hungry for glucose, they'll absorb it without needing much insulin. This is your golden window. Phase 2. Slower synthesis that requires elevated insulin for several hours. Research shows consuming 1.2 grams of carbs per kilogram of body weight per hour maximizes glycogen resynthesis. But here's the bodybuilder secret. Adding protein to carbs in a 4-to-1 ratio increases glycogen storage efficiency significantly. Not because you need more calories, but because protein causes a bigger insulin spike and provides amino acids for muscle repair. Step 3. Strategic carb timing creates an anabolic advantage. Elite bodybuilders don't just eat carbs randomly. They manipulate insulin deliberately. Studies comparing high glycemic versus low glycemic carbs post-workout showed that high-glycemic carbs promote faster glycogen repletion in the first 6 hours. This matters when you're training twice a day or doing high-volume workouts. The average pro bodybuilder weighs around 260 pounds today. Before insulin became part of the stack with steroids and growth hormone, the average was 240 pounds. That 20-pound difference? That's the power of strategic insulin manipulation combined with proper amino acid availability. Research confirms insulin combined with resistance exercise and protein consumption increased muscle protein synthesis with minimal muscle protein breakdown. The key phrase there is combined with. Insulin alone doesn't do much. But insulin plus amino acids plus resistance training equals maximum anabolism. Once you understand the basics, advanced athletes optimize even further with 3 strategic upgrades. Upgrade 1. Nutrient timing precision. Most people think they need to slam a protein shake immediately after training. Research shows the anabolic window is actually wider than we thought, up to several hours. But here's what bodybuilders know. If you train fasted or haven't eaten in 4+ hours before training, immediate post-workout nutrition matters more. If you ate a protein-rich meal 1 to 2 hours before training, you have more flexibility. The strategy consumes 0.4 grams carbs per kilogram body weight and 0.2 to 0.4 grams protein per kilogram body weight within the first hour after training. For a 180 pounds person, that's about 33 grams carbs and 16 to 33 grams protein. Upgrade 2. Training fasted for insulin sensitivity. Here's where it gets interesting. Studies comparing fasted versus fed training over 6 weeks showed something shocking. Training in the fasted state improved whole-body glucose tolerance and insulin sensitivity more than training after eating carbs. Fasted training increased GLUT for protein content by 28%. It elevated AMPK phosphorylation by 25%. It upregulated fat-burning genes by 30%. What does this mean practically? Strategic fasted training makes your muscles more sensitive to insulin, so when you do eat carbs post-workout, your muscles absorb them like a sponge. Advanced bodybuilders use this strategically. Train fasted 2 to 3 times per week to improve insulin sensitivity. Train fed before high-volume workouts when you need maximum performance. The result? Better insulin sensitivity means you can eat more carbs without storing fat, and your muscles get more nutrients when it counts. Upgrade 3. Carb cycling for maximum insulin efficiency. Your body adapts to everything. If insulin is constantly elevated, your cells become resistant. This is why advanced athletes cycle their carbs. Low-carb days, 3 to 4 days per week. Keep carbs under 100 grams. This keeps insulin low and maintains sensitivity. High-carb days, 1 to 2 days per week. Consume 300 to 400 grams carbs, timed around your hardest workouts. Your sensitized muscles absorb these carbs efficiently. Maximizing glycogen storage and muscle fullness. Research shows this approach maintains insulin sensitivity while still providing enough carbs for intense training. The result? You look fuller, perform better, and don't develop insulin resistance. Eventually, even with perfect strategy, you'll hit plateaus. Here's how the pros break through. Break it by strategically manipulating insulin sensitivity. Option 1. Increase training volume temporarily. More glycogen depletion means more insulin sensitivity when you refeed. Try adding an extra set per exercise for 2 to 3 weeks. Option 2. Implement a refeed day. After 5 to 6 days of lower carbs, one high-carb day can resensitize your muscles to insulin. Studies show this works better than constant high carbs. Option 3. Adjust your protein timing. Research shows that 0.3 grams protein per kilogram body weight every 3 to 4 hours maintains elevated muscle protein synthesis better than larger, less frequent meals. For a 180 pounds person, that's 25 grams protein every 3 to 4 hours. Option 4. Add berberine or cinnamon. Studies show berberine can improve insulin sensitivity by activating an MPK, similar to metformin. 500 milligrams 3x daily with meals can significantly improve glucose disposal. Option 5. Strategic overtraining reduces insulin sensitivity. Every 4 to 6 weeks, cut training volume by 50% for 1 week. Studies show this restores insulin sensitivity and improves subsequent gains. Now let's destroy some myths. Insulin makes you fat. Wrong. Insulin, in the presence of a calorie surplus and without exercise, makes you fat. Insulin in the presence of resistance training, adequate protein, and amino acid availability builds muscle. Studies comparing fed versus fasted resistance training found no difference in body composition changes when total calories and protein were matched. It's not insulin that makes you fat, it's excess calories without training stimulus. You should avoid carbs to stay lean. Partially wrong. Elite bodybuilders can stay under 8% body fat while consuming 300 to 400 g carbs daily. How? Because their muscles are insulin sensitive from training and strategic fasting. Research shows that low glycemic versus high glycemic carbs matters less when you're training intensely. Muscle contraction bypasses normal insulin signaling. Glucose enters muscles even with low insulin. Post-workout carbs aren't necessary. Partially true. For general fitness, you're fine without immediate carbs, but for serious muscle building and recovery, studies show that delaying carb intake by just 2 hours after exercise reduces glycogen synthesis by 50%. If you're training again within 8 to 24 hours, this matters. If you're training once every 2 to 3 days, not as critical. Natural athletes can't use insulin strategies. Dead wrong. You don't need to inject insulin to use these strategies. Your body produces insulin naturally in response to protein and carbs. The strategies work for natural athletes. Strategic carb timing, protein distribution, fasted training for sensitivity, carb cycling. Research shows these approaches improve muscle growth in natural drug-free subjects. Here's the bottom line. Stop demonizing insulin. Insulin isn't your enemy. It's the most powerful muscle-building hormone. When used correctly, the problem isn't insulin itself. It's that most people spike insulin constantly throughout the day, with no training stimulus, no amino acids present, and no strategic timing. You need 3 things: insulin sensitivity from strategic training and fasting, amino acid availability when insulin is elevated, proper timing around your workouts. The 3 stages work. Stage 1. Fix the foundation. Understand insulin is anabolic only with amino acids and blood flow. Use the post-workout window. Time your nutrients strategically. Stage 2. Optimize your sensitivity. Implement fasted training, 2 to 3x weekly. Use carb cycling. Distribute protein every 3 to 4 hours for constant muscle protein synthesis. Stage 3. Break plateaus by adjusting volume. Implementing refeeds, using insulin sensitizing supplements, And taking strategic deloads, I've helped thousands of people build muscle faster by teaching them to work with insulin, not against it. And I can help you use these strategies too. If you want my help, click the link in the description below to learn more about my program, or if you want to DIY it, watch this video next. It breaks down the exact meal, timing, training splits, and supplement protocols the pros use to maximize insulin's anabolic effects. You don't want to miss that breakdown, and always remember, you can do it.